Sure. My name is Ricardo Santos. I'm Portuguese. I'm CEO of Smart Empower. I joined the company recently, end of last year. I've got probably over 25 years experience in project, program and portfolio management. And I was invited to join the company to help with the transition from an R&D oriented company to product, commercially viable product development that the company needs to go through right now. Humble and very, very happy, very pleased. This is very important for us. So we are really happy. We are convinced that changes in grid architecture are vital for the future of what smart grids will be in the coming years. So this is an amazing achievement for us, considering all the projects that were among the, let's say, competitors, friendly competitors. So it's very pleasing for us. Thank you so much for having us. Yes. So let me share with you a bit how do we see community grids as being, I don't know if this is the right word, the embryonic stage of what smart grids will be in the future. So if we consider the reality in Ireland or in Europe generically, the targets set currently are to achieve 70% penetration of renewable energies by 2030. And due to the unpredictability of renewable energies, this will represent a huge effort for the DSOs, the grid operators, in terms of investment necessary to strengthen the grid to accommodate those renewable sources are necessary to meet those targets. Currently in Ireland, there are roughly 250 renewable energy producers connected to the grid, but there's a list of 980 waiting for connection, and this waiting time can take up to 2 years because the operator is managing the investment necessary to connect these non-synchronous sources of energy. So the community grid project is important because it allows by merging and matchmaking consumers and producers of renewable energy to bring this additional production of renewable energy to the grid without disturbance to the grid, so with no impact on voltage, on frequency, on power factor. So it's a way, we think, a very powerful way of contributing for the targets of renewable energy without the need for investment from the DSO side. It's impossible to meet the targets of renewable energy production, at least the way they are set up in Europe, in the conventional way. So decentralization is vital. If there's a new standard in Europe which is called the near zero emission building. Every new building in Europe will be a producer of renewable energy. This means that the problems for the grid operators can only increase because they will need to accommodate and bring into the grid again sources of non-synchronous energy. So the community grid project number one empowers communities that will have to invest in more expensive buildings by being themselves a generator, and allows them by matchmaking them with micro generation, allows the communities to be less dependent on the grid, to be more autonomous, to generate additional revenue that can obviously be reinvested in the community in a variety of different aspects, socially, infrastructure, and the users feel more empowered because they are closer to generation that they use for it. There's one technological benefit, and I'll start there, which is the integration of a variety of new technologies that are recent blockchain, smart homes, smart meters. So the project covers all that because it interacts with the users, collecting information from the smart meters, processing that information. So the marketplaces are price triggered. So the software uses blockchain smart contracts for that, and then it sends controls through home management systems or building management systems. So the integration of this wide range of technologies is for us a clear development. We are deeply involved with research institutions, organizations in Ireland and in Norway for the development of this integration. But clearly the major benefit is on saving saving costs to the grid operator, which typically are reflected on the tariff that every user pays. So by reducing the need of investment in tariffs, the regular tariffs can decrease slightly. And by trading energy and flexibility behind the meter, the users will generate some revenue for the community that will be reinvested in the community. So it's I think it's the two-in-one. We can decentralize production, we can contribute for the targets, and we are generating the revenues, part of them through rebate in their monthly bill that will be reinvested in the community. So we are fully convinced that on this path towards smart grids, the grid architecture will change dramatically. But this change cannot ignore safety, or power quality, or resilience of the grid, and this is what the community grids project is focusing on, is securing above everything else the need for resilience, sustainability, power quality of the grid, even with all the difficulties associated with the renewable energy sources. But we are also developing new business models for the energy sector. There's no stopping to the peer-to-peer trends in a variety of sectors. Airbnb, Uber. So there's no stopping to that. So the energy sector will also enter this trend. So we are creating new business models that are being scrutinized and assessed by the local regulators. And then, at least in one of the projects we're involved in, that this will become the standard throughout Europe. The other important aspect is that we are assisting the DSO and the TSO on the balancing exercise of the grid. So by making flexibility available, we will help the operators on the balancing exercise of the grid. Absolutely, I have absolutely no doubt about it. For a couple of very simple reasons. We need strong organization to drive. 26 countries is a big number of countries, so and we need one solid entity that drives everybody in the same direction, to ensure that the results, best practices are shared, decisions are shared and are applicable equally in all the countries involved, because one thing we cannot have is different approaches to the same concept. It's very intelligent that all the countries are adhere to one single approach, because this will generate synergies, scaling, which will obviously generate lower costs of implementation. Also, the need to, in a very balanced way, connect research organizations with the industry. I think it's very important. So your role is fundamental on this. I hope I'm not too much of a dreamer, but I think your major role could be in liaising and eventually influencing the regulators of all these countries. The regulators need to understand the positive results achieved. It's not always easy for industry partners to liaise directly with regulators, so your role there is absolutely vital. And again, this is a huge transformation and change project, let's call it like this. And we need someone that guides the entire team. It's a huge team. But again, the way we see things is your capacity, the way you have opened doors to demonstrate to various regulators how new business models in the energy sector will contribute to a cleaner and greener environment and a better life for my kids or your kids.